Let's have a property tour, shall we? Bryan LEBO here, and today we have a very exciting Blue Heron home. But you know what? Don't I always say it's an exciting Blue Heron home? Wouldn't it be refreshing if for a change I said, hey guys, this house actually sucks, but let's just see it anyways. But today is not that day, and this is not that video because this house is actually pretty extraordinary. So again, Blue Heron, $10 million, very large, and there's a lot of unique features in this home that's not typical of Blue Heron. So it's a slight deviation in this Luminary collection. So let's start off in the kitchen like we typically do. And first off, we're gonna talk about the flooring on the way. So the flooring throughout this main floor is all 24 by 48 inch porcelain tile, very bespoke, very lovely. One of my favorite flooring options. Now we have to talk and start off with the island. So Blue Heron makes some of the greatest kitchen islands, and this is right in line with it. So this is an 18-foot long island that's comprised of 4 slabs as well. So just an absolute gorgeous porcelain surface. Now, it wouldn't be modern architecture if we didn't have a waterfall return. So of course we have a waterfall return, but what kind of makes this one set apart from itself is I love what they did here on the apron. So typically we would see anywhere from a 2-inch to maybe even a 4-inch apron. Here we have a 4.5-inch apron, but it pivots on a 45-degree angle. So from the top side, it's almost like a razor's edge and just really makes this look bespoke and lovely. I just love what they did here. So very interesting. And we have a wooden louvered slat apron for the entire island side. So really nice. Now let's go check out the rest of the kitchen and start talking about some of the cabinetry options. So in typical Blue Heron fashion, all of their higher end properties all consist of TFL cabinetry. And here we've seen this many times over. Very lovely. Now, when we were first checking out the house, I literally had to just start pushing on walls because as you will see in a little bit, there's a lot of Scooby-Doo things going on here. So you never know what you might depress and what might reveal on the other side. So starting off here, this is actually your refrigerator. So if we push on this side, it pops out and reveals a 60-40 split Thermador refrigeration. So right side, we have the refrigerator, left side, we have the freezer. Really neat, kind of cool. Now on the back side of the island here, we do have a built-in Thermador microwave. It doesn't actually drawer open, so I can't hit you with the ooh-ah sound, but very lovely nonetheless. Now, let's talk about this. And guys, this is a good moment. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know it's time to play our favorite game, and that's drink along with Bryan, okay? So get your wine ready, get ready to drink, because this one's a freebie. There's a lot of smoked glass in this house. Blue Heron does a lot of smoked glass, and this is no exception. So where this kind of originates from, especially in VM1, their flagship, is any of their properties that have views. So whether it's in Lake Las Vegas, any views of the lake, or VM1, their flagship, which has strip views, anytime that there's a view, they always incorporate smoked glass into the backsplash. So while you're cooking, you can look up, and right from this perspective, I can see the entire Las Vegas Strip as I'm looking at the backsplash of this kitchen. Very awesome feature, and kind of what makes Blue Heron one of the Blue Heron features. So we continue with the same counter surface. Here we have a 2-inch apron, very nice. Coming down here a little bit further, some other interesting changes. So here we have a 36-inch grill top by Thermador. And here, lately we've been seeing a lot more of the ventilation that's sheathed. And here they went with a naked rendition of it. Ashley loves it. I kind of lean a little bit more towards the sheathing, kind of keeping it clean, but very lovely. And we even have LED lighting, a strip along the top of the backsplash. Over here on this side, we have an undermount sink, you know, faucets, etc. Now, if you've been watching, you also know what's coming. Anything over 3 million has to have 2 dishwashers. And I have to say, in this kitchen, we only have 1. But it's nice. We have a Thermador, nice dishwasher, very nice. Wish we had 2, but maybe we will have 2. Stick around, let's see. All right, as we come down here a little bit further, we have double ovens by Thermador, which is really lovely. And then we'll continue a little bit farther and check out a little bit more of this kitchen. So as we come over into this area, we have a built-in wine closet, and it actually does have refrigeration. You may take that for granted and assume that every wine closet has refrigeration, but they don't. So this is climate controlled, very neat. You can open it up, have perfect access to it, and we even have an abundance of storage underneath. Now, remember when I was talking to you about Scooby-Doo things? Something's a little off here. It's a lot of wasted naked space, or is it? Check this out. Push, and it reveals a hallway. Now, if we come into this hallway, there's a lot going on back here, but we're only gonna focus on a little bit at the moment. So, coming down here, this is your entire chef's kitchen. So again, if you're buying a $10 million home, you're on a different level. You're definitely way above me, okay? Congratulations, you've made it in life. You're probably throwing soirees and you don't want the help to be seen around all of your friends and family and guests. So here we have a proper chef's kitchen. So a lot of the food prep can be done here, stored here. We do have an additional refrigeration unit. So, you know, for the rest of us heathens, this would be the beer fridge that's in the garage. When you spend 10 million, your beer fridge is now in the chef's kitchen. So as we come, we didn't even skimp here. We have the same porcelain counter surface that we had in the kitchen, same cabinetry. But did you notice what's lurking here? To the left of the sink, we have the matching Thermador dishwasher. So yes, over 3 million, we do have 2 dishwashers. It's a weird 2, right? Like, I don't know how you do it, but give you the bullhorns. All right, so coming down here a little bit further, we do have a pantry. So you have your proper normal pantry. You just have a little bit more of a walk to deal with to get to your pantry. Or maybe you have a chef, maybe you have help. Who knows? Congratulations, either way, if you're buying this house. All right, coming back out of this portal, now we're gonna go and check out the primary suite because this is a sweet suite. Cheesy, I know, but follow. Over here to the left, you'll notice this is actually the outdoor kitchen area. And then we're gonna pause for a quick moment. Something really neat that is kind of making a resurgence are these pocket doors. These were really big 80s, a little bit in the 90s, then they kind of vanished. But a lot of this house comprises pocket doors. And this is the pocket door system to go into the primary. We have smoke glass over here to the right. And then over here, we have the actual bathroom, but first we're gonna focus on the sleeping quarters. So as we come into the primary suite, the one thing that you notice at first is the double height ceilings. So we have 20-foot high ceilings. It's very, very dramatic, very, very awesome. Now, let's focus on this media wall because there are a couple things that are a little different than what you typically see in our Blue Heron properties. So first off, what I love, all of this gray area is all Venetian plaster. And they did it in a way that looks a little bit more modern as compared to the typical Venetian plaster you see. And yes, in case you're cheating, smoke glass. So we have smoke glass all the way up 20 feet high. Obviously you have room for display. And one of the things that I'm starting to notice in a lot of the Blue Heron properties now, part of this Luminary Collection, is the omission of a fireplace. Normally, we would have like a 60-inch electric fireplace, and this is sans fireplace. But coming over here, really neat. So to the left of this media wall, we have a massive picture window, and then over here, we have our slider system. So this slider brings us directly right into the jacuzzi, but what's really, really neat is if you look out, you can see the entire Las Vegas Valley from this perspective, like a razor's edge right over the rooftops of the other Blue Heron homes in this community, but not obstructing the entire strip. Really, really gorgeous. I love, and even one thing that's really neat too, I forgot to mention, when you come over here on both sides, next to the wood louvers, we have smoke glass going up 20 feet high. And we even have electrical. So if you really wanted to make this dramatic, you could have small like chandeliers deploying from the ceiling just above where the lamps are. That would really, really be a neat feature. And you do have the electrical up there in the event that you take my advice. All right, now let's check out the bathroom. So first off, let's talk about the shower. So coming into the shower, a little different than what we're seeing. And it's kind of like we're seeing a new trend. So as we come into the shower, that same tobacco looking porcelain that was used in the kitchen is also here. A little bit of a different relief to it, little bit different. It's a little bit more even of a matte finish, less luminosity reflecting off of it. But we have our typical shower head here, and then over in this corner, we have our handheld. A lovely shower, but the one thing that I'm noticing over and over, the other Blue Heron, we just filmed another property that was like $7 million. No rainfall shower head. That was all the rage a few years ago. You had to have a rainfall shower head, and more, I'm seeing that go away. So I'm interested, guys, leave your comments. I know women don't like rainfall shower heads sometimes because you feel like you're drowning with all that hair. I've said it a million times. I don't have that problem, so I dig it, but I'm interested to hear your comments. Do you like the rainfall shower head, or is it just a complete waste of plumbing? All right, over here, we have his side, if you will, and this is gorgeous. So we have the exact same dark elm TFL cabinetry that's floating for the vanity, but then we have a beautiful quartz counter surface, and I just absolutely love these pivot sinks. So we have a beautiful pivot sink, and we have relocated plumbing onto the wall, which actually is just a massive mirror. And I love how they did the LED strip lighting surrounding both vanities. I think that's just an incredible, incredible design piece. All right, coming down here a little bit further, this is interesting. I can't say I've ever seen a staircase in a bathroom before. And I hate these spiral staircases. I don't like heights, and I really don't like spiral staircases, and I can only imagine coming out of the shower with wet feet, but I digress. This is a wacky one, but it's actually really cool because right above us is actually a retreat just for the primary. So we'll see that a little bit later when we do the second floor, but really, really interesting to have a staircase in the bathroom. Very unique. Coming down here, we have the reverse side. So we have her vanity here. We have a makeup vanity on this side. And I really do love, this is where Ashley and I separate many times. I like having the bathtub in a separate location versus the shower. So here we have the floating bathtub. We have the river rocks. So we have a little bit of that Blue Heron biophilic design going on. It's just much, much more toned down than we typically see in some of the other prototypical Blue Heron properties. Now, coming down this direction gets kind of interesting, okay? So I'm gonna give you my flight attendant moment here. So on both sides, we have water closets, and then directly above, check this out. Kind of bizarre. We have this massive, massive mirror that when you turn the corner, it's a little freakish because you're not prepared for it. So it looks like there's a stranger who's yourself staring at you. Anyways, but very, very functional, really, really dig. Okay, coming down the mirror hallway a little bit, to our right, we have his closet, so that's wonderful. And then to the left, we have her closet. So you can clearly see this is much, much, much larger. Beautiful island in the middle, all custom cabinetry, but this is really neat. Now, in this current incarnation, clearly there's a door. It's frameless, but obviously there's something behind it. Now, you could keep a safe in here. You could keep some other possessions that are important. Also, it is wired with electrical, so this could actually be a safe room. So if you actually open the door and come in, you can actually see it's small, but this could be secured as a safe room with all of your cameras, all your security, and you could do something to kind of make this a little less obvious. So definitely an option. And a lot of times when you're dealing with properties at this level, homeowners want a safe room. So very important. More closet access over here. But now check this area out. Another pocket slider. And this brings us back to the hallway that we came in the Scooby-Doo door from the kitchen. So as we come into this area, this is the dedicated laundry room, which is great because the laundry room literally goes right into the primary closet. One thing I would say, which I'm sure is an option, this is where your washer and dryer goes. At this level, I probably would just throw out this entire cabinet and then make space for 2 sets of washers and dryers. Am I just greedy or what? Gotta have 2 dishwashers. Now we gotta have 2 sets of washers and dryers. Am I just greedy and crazy or what? I just think at this level, it'd be nice to have that option. Clearly we have our sink, very nice quartz countertop. Over here to the right, we also have more cabinetry, more options. And then coming down even further, we have exterior access to the side of the house, more cabinetry, more counter space. So you really truly have an abundance of areas here to store items. Now this is your access to the garage. So if we were to come up the stairs and we open the door, we have a massive, massive 5-car garage on this side. Later, you're going to see that we have an additional 2-car garage on the other side of the house. And then I believe it's 1,843 square feet of garage space. So literally, your garages are the size of a very good sized home for most people. So a little bit of idea there. Now, this was the chef's kitchen, and this is the Scooby-Doo door that we came in, and now we're gonna exit the Scooby-Doo door. So exiting the Scooby-Doo door, this brings us right back into the kitchen area, and now we're gonna talk about the family room a little bit. So coming into the family room, the first thing that you notice, much like the primary bedroom, is that you have double height ceilings. So we'll talk about this in a moment. Obviously, if you're gonna have modern architecture, you gotta have a big slider and ingress and egress to the backyard. But we're gonna focus first on the media wall. So here, again, beautiful, beautiful Venetian plaster, very regal, and also looks kind of modern as well. We have a beautiful porcelain slab here to create the surround for the fireplace. And while we have a 72-inch fireplace, of note, this is actually a gas fireplace. I believe Da Vinci is what Blue Heron typically uses. So you can up the cost about 5 times over versus even the nicest electric fireplace. I prefer the Dimplex XL Ignite series. And we have embedded LED lighting, and we have that dark elm TFL cabinetry that we've seen throughout the entire home. Now, on the left side, we have a beautiful picture window here that leads into the outdoor kitchen. And then, now we gotta talk about this. So here we have a 15-foot automated slider. A lot of these sliders are a pain in the butt, especially after a few years, they start getting sticky, and unless you have a tremendous amount of strength, they really become kind of difficult to operate. This one is fully automated, so you just press a button, you can tell Alexa, and it'll just open up and reveal the outdoor. We'll talk about the backyard a little bit later, especially this pool. It's a gorgeous lap pool. But again, from this perspective, I can see right over the rooftops of all the other Blue Heron homes in this neighborhood and see the entire strip. Just wonderful. Coming around this side of the family room, we have, again, the double height ceiling, which leads us to 2 picture windows. Very, very gorgeous. Now this is neat. As we walk down this area, don't know if it'll show up on film, but I'm looking at the reflection of the strip in the backsplash of the kitchen. Just such a cool, cool, cool function. All right, now let's talk about this area to the left. Now this staircase is very prototypical Blue Heron. If you're familiar with Blue Heron, you've seen this all over, even in their typical series of homes, their Nexus line, like Prado, Owasi. This is an option for those homes. So even at a third of the price, you can get this pretty much the exact same floating staircase. And denoted below is that biophilic design. So you notice the river rocks. That's a very, very typical Blue Heron design feature. And now we're gonna bring you back to the entry. So over here, we have this curtain wall of glass that leads out into the outdoor lounge area and the pool. But one thing we're gonna pause for is part of this Luminary Collection. You'll notice like we don't have fireplaces in bedrooms. We don't have the Vegas modern ceiling that we typically see. There are some Vegas modern trademarked design features, but right here in the entry, typically in Blue Heron properties, you have a biophilic design. So you have steppers that are intersected with river rocks. I love the design of it. The practicality, well, that's debatable, but I know a lot of you absolutely hate it. It's probably the #1 comment I see is, what's up with the rocks on the floor? That looks terrible. This collection completely omits it. So very un-Blue Heron of Blue Heron to do, but I know that a lot of you guys don't particularly care for it. I think it's cool. All right, coming down this area, let's first talk about this powder bathroom, because this is the bathroom that most likely your guests are going to be using if they're coming over. So we have a floating vanity of the same cabinetry. We have this gorgeous, gorgeous leathered counter surface, granite leathered counter surface, relocated plumbing, smoke glass, and a beautiful 3D accent wall. Just a wonderful powder bathroom, exactly what you would expect. Now, this is pretty neat. So this is actually your office, super heavy glass. I love having an executive office in the front of the home. It's just my personal preference. And if you look at the window over here, this is exactly the hallway that leads you to the front door. So kind of neat to have your office at the front of the home where you can see any guests approaching your property. Very lovely. Over here on this wall is where the display goes. But I really love this. If this is your desk, this is a good sized office, but I love the fact that it's all surrounded in glass, so it really expands the space. And then of course we have tons of cabinetry, so tons of storage for all those binders and paper that you've been holding on to and haven't digitized. All right, coming down this direction, let's check out this area because this is more of like a casual lounge area. So first off, we have the exact same leathered porcelain counter surface that we saw in the kitchen, in the actual shower in the primary. And here we have a 2-inch apron with a waterfall return. Very nice. Same cabinetry, undermount sink. Basically, we're discussing a wet bar. So very nice. And we have smoke glass on this wall. And over here to your right, this whole wall is smoke glass as well. So hope you just got 2 drinks in there real quick. All right, coming down this area, obviously you can see we have a double slider system that leads out to this lounge area. We have a single slider that leads out to the pool. So you really can open this up a lot and get some, clean, natural air. And of course we have this abundance of light. Now, let's talk about the media wall. We have a very simple media wall. Again, omitted fireplace. Cool. But come back over here. There's one thing I wanted to talk about. This is something that you would never even think about, probably not notice unless you spend a lot of time in these properties. Now, everyone tends to put like deploying solar screens in these properties. And typically like Christopher Homes, a lot of builders, they'll build like a drywall valance, a wood valance to hide all the mechanical equipment to deploy the solar shade. Kind of like what Blue Heron has done. Here, they've dropped the ceiling about 8 inches and they've created this alcove. So there's kind of a little cove here that will hide all the equipment and all the electricals there. So it'll just kind of deploy right from the ceiling. Really, really neat. We have a beautiful ceiling tray with LED above us. And let's check out the backside of this island because not sure how much of this you could see in the kitchen because we have the bar stools. Without the bar stools, again, you can see that 45-degree miter, that razor edge miter here, and all the wood louvers for the accents. So just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bar and a really neat lounging area. One recurring theme you're gonna notice, there's a lot of places to watch TV in this house. Now, if you wanted to, we could segregate this entire wing because we have a pocket door right here. So that's pretty neat. All right, over here, if we go to our left, this staircase brings us to the 2-car garage. So you have another garage over on this side. But now we're gonna check out this secondary bedroom because for a secondary bedroom, this is incredible. So first off, we have our little morning kitchen area. So yeah, nice, beautiful counter surface, which we're gonna discuss here in a moment. Decent cabinetry, just a great place to have like your little Keurig as you see right now. And of course, smoke glass. All right. You must be getting buzzed by now, hearing me talk about this over and over. All right, coming into the actual bedroom, we have a wall of glass here leading out to the pool. We have a slider, so we have access to go directly into the pool. Perhaps if you wanted to leave the pool and just take a quick shower, you could dip right into this bedroom and utilize the shower, which we're gonna see in just a moment. And again, media wall, no fireplace, yada, 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 yada. I do love on this wall that we have 3 linear windows, but they're elevated in height, so you have complete privacy, no one can see in, and you can leave the windows open. But now let's check out this bathroom. Typically, this is gonna be called a Vegas modern bathroom. We've seen this over at Owaси. We've seen this several times at Shoreline in their production homes. But first, let's start off with the shower, because this is something I haven't seen, and it's incredible. So we have a curbless entry into the shower, very nice, but check this wall out. I literally had to ask what this material was. It turns out it's a slab of porcelain, but it's distressed, so it looks like rusted metal. I would have never thought that I would love it this much, but the way that this was all put together is just absolutely incredible. By the way, Blue Heron has its own interior design team that basically designed the interior of this home and all the furniture that you see. It's called Atelier. I would highly recommend if you are interested in a Blue Heron home and you have the means, I would certainly look into talking to them about it. Very, very, very lovely. Now, we have this beautiful porcelain slab walls, and then we even have a porcelain 3D tile accent over here. I absolutely love what they did. So just a wonderful, wonderful shower and something a little bit new that I haven't seen before. Now let's come and talk about this vanity area. So over here to the right, we have a small closet, but again, very similar to the shower, but a little bit less distressed is that same porcelain slab that creates the counter surface here. We have a nice undermount sink, but this is kind of what makes the Vegas modern bathroom is we have glass on either side, but then wedged in between those two panes of glass is this beautiful mirror. So it's really neat, and in a lot of applications, this keeps a lot of noise from penetrating into the bedroom. So really neat. And then over here on this side, we have the toilet. All right, guys, we have now seen the entire first floor of this property. And as amazing as this is, there's some pretty cool stuff going on the second floor. So meet me upstairs and we'll delve into that part of the house. All right, guys, welcome to the second floor. So over here, you can see the staircase that we just came up, but what's really neat is what's coming up over here. So if we walk into this space, this is probably one of the most incredible movie theaters you will ever see. So over here to the right, we have stadium seating with smoke glass behind it. But check this out. This entire wall of glass and this floor is cantilevered over the kitchen. So we're actually looking down on the family room. I can see a bit of the pool. And then of course I can see Blue Heron's Oculus property and the entire Las Vegas Strip with zero obstruction. Just this alone is incredible. But what's really, really neat is, again, this is the movie theater. So with the press of a button, this entire room darkens with all of these automated shades. And then right above the glass here, we have a little alcove. This is what would house the actual theater screen. So this would actually deploy straight from the ceiling. So at night, you could be watching a movie, and on either side, you would have views of the entire Las Vegas Valley. Arguably one of the coolest movie theaters I have ever seen. I don't know about you, but I don't know how much more you want. This is really cool. Now again, gotta love, you can segregate this entire space. We do have a pocket slider, and then this area leads us into what we typically call a wellness room. There is a closet, so this could be anything else that you would want it to be, but its current incarnation, this is the wellness room. So how cool would it be to be able to use your yoga mats, do your yoga, look out, and again, we have the same exact views of the entire Las Vegas Valley. Absolutely sensational. If you don't want to walk to your bedroom, you can go ahead and shower off. We have a beautiful vanity, porcelain counter surface, and here we actually have a bathtub shower system. So if you do have small children, if you need to wash the fur baby, this is where you can kind of get that going on. Again, these views are just incredible. Now, coming over to this area, again, you'll notice we do have a pocket slider, and this is where we enter the primary suite from the second floor. This is, a little bit redundant. We have so many places to watch TV, to lounge, to read a book, but this is beautiful, beautiful. So this is basically the primary retreat. So we have this gorgeous, comfortable sofa, and over here, we're overlooking the actual bed in the primary. So again, sensational views of Oculus, sensational views of the entire Las Vegas Strip. And again, this is all private, this wing for the primary suite. Now, if we come over in this direction, you'll notice really beautiful. Both of these windows, these picture windows are wonderful, and you have absolute privacy. There's nothing over here except raw desert and a ravine. Really lovely. But this is the death spiral staircase. So this is the staircase that we talked about earlier that leads you directly into the primary bathroom. So you can come up here, read a book, take in the views, go back downstairs, take your shower, and do your thing. So now that we've seen this side of the upstairs, we got to cross the entire house to see the other side. So as we walk, this is a good moment to talk about the flooring. So while downstairs we had that 24 by 48 inch porcelain tile, that large format tile that we love, upstairs here, we have an engineered hardwood, very long planks, very lovely, very rich. Perfect for a second floor. All right, again, our staircase that we came up to the left, beautiful views of the pool here to the right. And this is a neat area. So technically this is a wet bar, and of course we have smoke glass. So this is kind of neat because this actually services the movie theater. So you could have your condiments as you see here. We could actually put in refrigeration for beverages. Really cool. All right, now let's see some of the secondary bedrooms. So as we come into this bathroom could also serve, if you didn't want to go into the wellness room for a bathroom, if you have guests over watching a movie, they would come and use this. So we have a gorgeous porcelain counter surface that looks like travertine. We have the same large format porcelain tile that we had on the main floor. And then we have a beautiful stacked porcelain that looks like travertine, making this walk-in shower wonderful, wonderful. Now let's check out the bedroom. We have a closet over here to the left, and then we have a pretty normal bedroom, but there's a couple things. One, over here, this is where I was telling you about that little alcove. So you would have a hidden area for all the mechanicals for those solar shades. But I mean, look at this. This is incredible. This is either your children or your guests are going to have the best views of the entire Las Vegas Valley. The views here are actually better than in the primary suite. A little bit odd, but your friends and family are going to absolutely love you. All right, now let's check out the other bedroom, which is right around the corner over here. So we'll talk about this area later, but we have kind of a loft space that we'll finish up over. And this leads us into another bedroom, very similar. So we have a closet to the left. And then again, we have the exact same views that we had in the other bedroom. Just, you just can't get enough of these views. It's incredible. And then over here, we have another bathroom that's almost an exact mirror match of the bathroom that services that bedroom and also takes care of your guests for the movie theater. Now, coming into this space, we have a gorgeous coffered ceiling, LED illumination. I love that we have these linear windows on both sides. Again, it's relatively private because of the elevation, but this would be wonderful. If you have kids, you can make this into their play area. This could be their dedicated viewing room. Just a wonderful spot. All right, guys, we have now seen the downstairs. We've been upstairs. All that's left is to check out this incredible backyard. So meet me back downstairs and I'll see you out back. All right, guys, welcome to the backyard. Now, first off, we're gonna come into this amazing outdoor kitchen area, very unique to what we've ever seen. I love the fact that you have this enclosure area, so it allows some sunlight, but later in the day, it's gonna be obstructed from the sun, so you'll have a lot of shade here. But we have a gorgeous outdoor kitchen, so the same porcelain counter surface that we saw in the kitchen, and we have an outdoor barbecue. But what's kind of neat is because of the structure, they also embedded some ventilation. So if you really are grilling and creating a lot of smoke, it'll get sucked up right up there. Really kind of a neat function. Now we come into the actual backyard area, but we're gonna start off on the right side over here, which is actually the back of the house. So as we come down here, very, very, very private. You can see behind us is just natural desert landscape. We have the ravine, just wonderful. And right here at the very end, and all private, we have this cute little daybed area I really, really love. Now, over here, we have the typical Blue Heron Quattrofinity pool, except if you're noticing, there's something different. And I'm gonna talk about it when we get to the pool, but they made a big, big, big change and it was brilliant. And over here, we have the primary suite. So again, you have that perfect ingress, egress to come from the jacuzzi into the primary suite. Really, really neat. Now, as we come back down this direction, now we can talk about the pool. And again, there's something they did that was just brilliant. So at the beginning of the pool here, we have a nice sized Baja shelf. So this is a great place for you to put your chaise lounge. You've got room for about 2. We do have a hole for the umbrella. Of course, it's PebbleTech, it's self-cleaning, everything that you would expect from a pool and a property of this stature. Now, over here to your left, this is the family room area. So you can see perfect ingress, egress to go right into the pool. Sensational, very modern. Now, let's dip down a little bit farther into this pool. What I love about this pool is that it's so functional because you can actually use it to do laps and get some exercise. And this is probably the largest pool that you can currently build with the new permitting laws. And here's what Blue Heron did that's so brilliant. I've seen this pool a million times, and normally what you'll notice is the water will spill over the edge, and that's where we get the Quattrofinity, which isn't even a thing. But with the new permitting laws, it goes by the surface area of water. So unfortunately, if the water spills over the edges, the entire edge counts negatively against your square footage. So again, you're losing a lot of pool size just because of those edges. And if you have 4 edges, you're just killing the size of the pool. So what Blue Heron did is, without changing the structure and integrity of the pool, they installed 5 drains here. So they're very, very subtle, but there's 5 drains, and now the pool drains into itself without spilling over the edge. So it comes near the edge, but doesn't go over the edge, which allows them to virtually double the size of the pool. You just lose that apron water feature. Brilliant, brilliant design. Okay, now let's come into this lounge area. And I love how intimate this space is. We have our nice conversation pit, we have our gas fireplace, and even behind me here, we have electrical for your display. So how wonderful would this be to be able to just come out here, enjoy the game, watch your favorite show. Just a wonderful, wonderful space that they created. All right, guys, this concludes the entire video. I always read your comments, and I'm excited to hear what your thoughts are. What's your favorite part of it? Are you as excited as I am about the pool? I just thought that was a brilliant, brilliant strategy to circumvent this whole system. But special thanks to Blue Heron and special thanks to Tyler Brady for allowing me to film this masterpiece. Guys, be sure to like the video, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Deuces.